didn't want to avoid that same circumstance we seem to get from there time to time, but with the internalized access, that addresses my question. Thank you. That's all I have.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Brad.
Quick question for the retail. Anybody who's visiting the building to use the retail space is going to valet their car presumably as well, or is there on-street parking?
There are certain parking spaces that are required for the retail. As part of the requirement is 2.5 spaces per every 1,000 square feet of retail that will be part of the count, that are part of the count for the project. So they will have those spaces, but there are on-street parking spaces still available on Gardenia. Most likely, retail space in that location will feed a lot of foot traffic and from the residents and business around it. But there are parking spaces for the retail in the valet area, in the parking garage. They are accounted for.
And curious where the residents next door, when they valet park there, what is their path to walk to the building next door?
It is a pad in here on the back. If you see these access,
Okay.
there is a cross. They're going to have a cross in here and access the Marriott residences through this door. It's not included in this application, but the applicant wanted to install a canopy over the alley, but we are processing that as a separate because it's an aerial right-of-way encroachment. But the proposal is to have a canopy so they are covered between the two hotels
Got
through
it.
the alley.
Last question, when the construction begins on this project and the current residents loses their parking, where do they park?
I will let Mr. Kulik to answer that question. You have to come to the podium, sorry.
When we do go into construction, we'll secure other parking in the city for the hotel during the entire construction period. It hasn't been identified yet, but we will do that. There's also an easement that requires us to do that when we remove that parking space to provide the same parking for the residents in during construction. So we just don't have that identified yet, but we will. That's the condition. Did that answer the question?
I have no other questions.
Anything else?
Any other questions on that one? No. I had a question just in terms of, again, the parking, and I don't have a problem with the particulars of the variance relative to the construction, but I guess my question's more out of curiosity. The code requires a certain number of spaces. Has that been changed in recent times to accommodate maybe different trends in the marketplace with Uber and Lyft and electric vehicles? And it always seems like you have the code requirement to meet those parking spaces and the creative design team does whatever it does to meet those, but does the market or the hotel industry now realize, hey, we really don't need those many parking spaces, or we need more than those parking spaces in sort of today's day and age?
It's a good question. The trend for less parking spaces is a good trend. We have historical data because we own the Residence Inn. And so Marriott, when they did their analysis, thought this was the minimum amount to make it work efficiently. People are still driving a lot between extended stay and this. And so the idea that, have as little parking, we try to do as little as possible, but this is about where it is. It's about 0.70, I think, 0.7 per room or something. Oh.
Mr. Mihalik, Rick Green, Development Services Director. I will tell you that that is on our list of things to do. We're going to amend. Of course, my phone goes off. It's my doctor making sure I'm going to be there at 11. We have scheduled to amend Article 15, which is our parking regulation. In the meantime, both downtown and the rest of the city have provisions to, as you have seen in the past, allow a reduction in parking. But what we want to do is go back and look at trends because we recognize exactly what you're saying. Amend our parking code so we won't have to have applicants asking for that waiver because I suspect we're going to be reducing that number.
Great. Thank you.
I just want to clarify, the parking ratio actually for hotels downtown is pretty low. It's 1 per every 4 rooms. The applicant is actually doing more. We allow up to 1 per room. That's the maximum. And when Mr. Green refers to changes, those are the changes. We're probably going to adjust those even further and make transportation demand management strategies as part of the requirement that they are not right now. So that's one of the changes that we are considering right now.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Any other questions or comments?
I mean, it was a great presentation. I mean, it all seems reasonable to me. I think based on what staff presented, the variances, the requests seem justified based on the unique conditions of the property and the pragmatics of the parking, which is critical to the project, so I don't have any objections to the variance items. If anyone like to make a motion on this case?
Mr. Chair, motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Excuse
I-
me,
I have to read it in.
he needs to read the motion into the
I have to
record,
read it in.
Mr. Chair.
Oh, okay. Someone read that, please.
I move that the Downtown Action Committee approve the variance requests included in DAC case number 21-02 as follows. 1, a variance from table 4-15C, section 94-118, Quadrille Garden District, QGD, building requirements, QGD 10, regarding the reduction of the conditional setbacks for parking uses above the third floor on secondary streets, Gardenia Street, from 27 feet to 12 feet. 2, a variance from section 94-118, table 4-15C, building requirements, QGD 10, to reduce the conditional setback above the 7th floor for South Dixie Highway from 62 feet to 44 feet. 3, a variance from section 94-485, figure 15-2, regarding a reduction in the minimum drive aisle required for two-way parking structures from 24 feet to 21 feet 3 inches. A variance from section 94-485, figure 15-2, regarding a reduction on the minimum drive aisle required for two-way parking structures from 24 feet to 21 feet 3 inches. Staff recommends approval based on the findings that the petition does not meet all 10 variance standards as outlined by Article 2, Section 94-38D6 of the Zoning and Land Development Regulations, ZLDRs. Staff recommends the following condition. A, the proposed parking structure shall be operated as valet only with the exception of ADA requirements and uses. 4, a variance from Section 94-109, Table 4-4, facade articulation requirements to reduce the minimum depth of the required planar break from 3 feet to 2 feet. This variance approval is made conditional upon the restrictions, stipulations, and/or safeguards listed in the Planning Division staff report dated August 11, 2021, that I move are necessary to ensure compliance with the purpose and intent of the zoning code and consistent with the Downtown Master Plan and Comprehensive Plan of the City of West Palm Beach. This motion is based upon the testimony presented along with the application submitted, which constitutes competent, substantial evidence that the standards in Section 94-38D6 have been met.
Okay, as a motion, all in favor? Second, you got a second?
Second?
Second, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. Good luck with that. All right, let's see, we go to. All right, we're moving on to item 2, TDR case number 21-03, request by Craig Monzio on behalf of 300 Banyan LLC for the transfers that we'll hear the presentation from staff on this one, or applicant?
Good morning. Lauren Thomas on behalf of Touchstone Web Realty and on behalf of 300 Banyan LLC, TDRs. We've got the receiving site at 300 Banyan Boulevard and Olive Avenue, approximately 0.68 acres, request of 7628 square feet of TDRs. All right, here's a rendering of the site requesting 7628 square feet of TDRs. Sending site is across the street at 345 Banyan Boulevard. They have an overage of 7628 square feet. You'll see the sending site and the receiving site there. And that concludes the presentation.
Okay, great, thanks. If we have any questions, we'll let you know. Oh, there we go. We'll hear staff's portion of this one.
Chris Kimmerly, Urban Design Planner. Staff recommends approval of TDR case 21-03 based on the findings that the proposed transfer of development rights is in accordance with Section 4, or Article 4, Section 94-132, and is a valid use of the TDR transferal within the Clematis Waterfront District. And the slide here is available for the motion.
Okay, thanks. Does anyone have any, let's see, any public comment on this case here? Seeing no public comment, we'll close public discussion. Any questions for staff or the applicant? Brian?
Quick question for staff. I'm assuming that and in the report, it indicates that the project at 303 is going on, but they're not using all their entitlements. Is there any room if they make changes along the way, or are they transferred right down to whatever they're asking for, the specifics of what they're asking for now?
I believe there is still room to transfer additional rights.
I'm not worried about the transfer additional rights. I'm worried about holding on to rights in case their plan needs to be tweaked in any way or increases in size in any way. Anna Marie, is there any issue with them changing plans, getting fatter, bigger, and needing any of these back, or is there room for them to adjust along the way?
Well, they originally had transferred the 80,000 square feet. They end up not using all that, and that's why they have these leftover 9,000 square feet. They are sending those to the 300 Banyan. If for any reason, the building's already under construction and permit, so they already know what they're doing. But if for any reason they decide to add another room in the pool deck or something, they can go out and buy those TDRs from another sending site and bring it back to their site, not to exceed the maximum allowed by the site anyway.
Right. So
they
private
could-
market if they
Yes,
need it.
exactly. They could go out and buy them again.
Thanks.
Okay. Anyone else? No? All right. Well, it seems fairly straightforward like all the other cases. So if anyone has a motion they'd like to make, go ahead.
I move to approve the Downtown Action Committee approve the transfer of development rights, DAC case number TDR 21-03 as listed in the staff report dated August 11th, 2021 as follows. A, the transfer of 7,628 square feet of TDRs from the property at 345 Banyan Boulevard, 303 Banyan Boulevard, Par 1, to the property at 300 Banyan Boulevard pursuant to the requirements of section 94-132.
Okay, thanks. A motion, is there a second?
Second?
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? None? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving on to, let's see, item 3, TDR case number 21-02, request by Jordan Rathlev on behalf of West Palm Beach TDRs LLC. We kindly have applicant's presentation.
The applicants will do the presentation. One note, the next 3 cases are all the same receiving site, so we're gonna do the presentations combined to.
Combined?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Lauren Thomas on behalf of Touchstone Web Realty on behalf of Related here, 610 Ivernia, receiving site as noted below, 0.59 acre, City Place North LLC. Total TDRs to be transferred 86,260 square feet. Sending site number 1 is the Butcher Shop, other known as 209 6th Street. They've got 27,732 square feet of TDRs. And just to note, these were prior approved to be sent to the Cosmopolitan and are now being redirected to 610 Ivernia. Sending site number 2 is the Heart and Soul site. It consists of the 4 properties listed below. They've got 12,620 available, of which 9378 are being transferred, owned by the CRA. And sending site 3 is St. Patrick's Church at 418 North Sapodilla, 0.32 acres. They've got 49,150 square feet. These are all the sending sites as well as the receiving site and where they're going for a total of 86,260 square feet. And that is it.
Okay, thank you. Chris?
Okay, so again, this is the 3 combined cases. The following is just to highlight the certificates of transfer that were previously issued for the same sending sites. It should be noted that these certificates have since been voided by the city, and the same value of those previous certificates in terms of TDRs are now being transferred to the 610 Avernia site. So TDR case number 2102, on March 17th, certificate transfer 1902, sending site from the butcher shop to the Cosmopolitan Hotel. This was for the transfer of all 27,732 square feet of TDRs. Again, this certificate has since been rescinded and voided by the city, and these TDRs are now available to be sent to 610 Avernia. TDR case number 21-04, on November 13th, 2019, certificate of transfer 1906. Sending site was Heart and Soul Park. The receiving site again was Cosmopolitan Hotel. This was to transfer 9,378 square feet. This has also been rescinded and voided and is now available to be sent to 610 Avernia. And TDR case number 21-05, on November 13th, 2019, certificate of transfer 19-05 from St. Patrick's Church to the Cosmopolitan Hotel. Set to transfer all 49,150 square feet of TDRs. This has been voided and are available to send to 610 Avernia. And for those previously mentioned cases, staff recommends the approval of all three, 21-02, 21-04, and 21-05, based on the findings that the proposed transfer of development rights is in accordance with Article 4, Section 94-132, and is the valid use of TDR transferal within their respective districts.
Okay, thanks. Any questions on these from anyone? Do we need to make separate motions for each, or is it all one?
Mr. Chair, you'll need separate motions. You also need to allow public comment if there's any.
I'm sorry, was that?
You also need to allow for public comment if
Oh,
there's
yeah,
any.
sorry, I did forget. Any public comment on any of these three items? Okay. Seeing none, we'll close public discussion. Any questions for staff or applicant?
Yeah.
Brian?
Chris, I'm not sure if you can answer this or not. Can we assume that the Cosmopolitan is evaporated?
The use of those TDRs, the agreements have, the
I
purchase
understand that.
agreements have closed.
The
but-
project itself, I'm assuming, is pretty
Yeah,
much
project.
DOA?
The site plan approval for that project is still valid. However, the site is right now being transferred to a new owner, and our understanding is the new owner is gonna do a new process for a site plan approval. If for any reason, again, similar to the previous one, they still want to move ahead with the Cosmopolitan project as it was originally approved, they can go out to the market and buy new TDRs for the site as it was approved. But at this point, the purchase and sale agreement for these TDRs never closed, so these are available again.
I'm having deja vu here, transferring these ones.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions or ready for a motion? Anyone like to venture on a motion?
Motion to approve? Okay. Staff I'm sorry. I have to do each one, right? So I move that the Downtown Action Committee approve the transfer development rights, DAC case number TDR 21-02 as listed in the staff report dated August 11th, 2021 as follows. The transfer of 27,732 square feet of TDRs from the 209 6th Street, the butcher shop, to the property at 610 Avernia Street pursuant to the requirements of Section 94-132 and Section 94-133.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Motion, is there a second?
Second?
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Someone want to make a motion for the next one? You keep rolling, Brian?
Motion to approve? I move that the Downtown Action Committee approve the transfer of development rights, DAC case number TDR 21-04 as listed in the staff report dated August 11th, 2021 as follows. The transfer of 9,378 square feet of TDRs from the parcels of Heart and Soul Park to the property at 610 Avernia Street pursuant to the requirements of Section 94-132 and Section 94-133.
Okay, motion, is there a second?
Second?
Motion second, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries, thanks, and then we got one more.
I move that the Downtown Action Committee approve the transfer of development rights, DAC case number TDR 21-05, as listed in the staff report dated August 11, 2021, as follows. The transfer of 49,150 square feet of TDRs from the property at 418 North Sapadilla Avenue to the property at 610 Avernia Street pursuant to the requirements of Section 94-132.
Okay, perfect. Motion, is there a second?
Second?
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion carries. All right, well, thank you very much. Very good. So I think that concludes cases for today. Got any unfinished business, or anyone have any items they'd like to put on new business? Okay. All right, well, we'll adjourn today's meeting. Thank you,
very
everyone,
much.
for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you,
Thank you.
staff.
Thanks, Henry.